Good evening, I'm Reverend William. Thanks to everyone who took part in the quiet energy work portion of our service. Your cooperation in creating this sacred space is greatly appreciated. Let's begin by chanting 3 ohms together. Om. Thank you. Open to the first page of your book, and we will say together the universal greeting. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from your source. With that source in you, let us work together. Please turn to the next page, and we will say together the 9 principles of spiritualism. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitutes true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the soul called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts and prophecy healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship. All right, I'm going to say a little bit about what we're doing tonight. I'm going to start by reading the description that I wrote. All right. Healing the empath. Are you a victim of your own thoughts and feelings? Are you running into obstacles no matter what the path you take? Do you yearn to be your natural, caring, loving person that you are, yet the dark side of that makes you feel ostracized or even cursed? As an empathic person, you have exiled the parts of yourself that attracted the pain of criticism, isolation, and fear. Join us if you are ready to welcome those parts home. Blah, blah, blah. So, that's right. That is one of the ways we survive, is in childhood or whenever. Let's say you develop a habit of isolation to avoid the pain of being criticized. That's an easy and simple way to put it. You choose to isolate rather than be hurt. And for a small child, that makes total sense. But as an adult, hopefully you've developed skills, learned techniques to cope with that differently, to not take things personally, for instance, to know that people tend to criticize that which they don't like about themselves, for instance, so on and so forth. And my intention when I wrote that was really about what I've been interested in now for several months of, to make a long story short, a story I've told several times here, reintegration of those parts that have been exiled. But then, because Spirit works in mysterious ways, today I participate in a Zoom group every Sunday morning, pretty much every Sunday morning, called Deep Questions and Dark Chocolate. Okay, and the guy who runs it, Jonathan, he originated it on the college campus where he works several or many years ago. I don't know how long ago he started it. And then when COVID, the pandemic started, he started doing it online, inviting other people. So eventually, and that's how I got into it. During COVID, I got invited by a friend. And this morning's discussion was a lot about acceptance of those parts. And let me grab my notes here. How, and I wrote these little, because I like alliteration. How do you turn pain into progress, anger into action, and depression into decision? And one person said intuition. And I said, now, for a lot of us, a lot of people, that's a big jump. How do you go from that question to intuition? How do you employ intuition to make those transformations? And she said two words that I wrote down: listen and trust. Listen to what? For some people, it's listen to your body. For some people, they're familiar with their intuitive voice or their higher self. And trust. So that, to me, addresses something important, and that is this empathic person, this hypothetical person, might have a really difficult time with that. Might have a really difficult time with trusting because they've learned in their early life to not trust their own judgment. So there's a term that gets tossed around. I'm not real fond of the term. I think it's kind of a misnomer, but spiritual bypass. And that, to me, it used to be called a Pollyanna attitude, to just focus on the positive and don't even recognize the negative. And furthermore, this meditation tonight is a continuation of the past few we've done, which have had the word shadow. I think Karen did one called Recognize Your Shadow. I did one called Enlighten the Shadow, to bring those parts into the light. And then this, I think the first title I came up with was Integrating the Shadow or something like that. Anyway, then as I contemplated that, it came to me to call it Healing the Empath, because that's something a lot of people identify with. So tonight, of course, we're always open to just whatever Spirit brings me, in the next few minutes. But in the meantime, consider this. All feelings are ultimately expressions of love. Also consider that the will to live might be the ultimate expression of love, and or to love is the ultimate expression of the will to live. Skills that help this process are diplomacy, tact, and discernment replace judgment and fear. Invitation, not imposition. Invite people in instead of imposing your beliefs on them, which includes active listening. And lastly, one of our participants this morning said, "It's only in the now and focusing on the good that I can enhance my journey." And if you happen to know Kelly Standing, you're a lucky person. She's a very cool person, Kelly Standing. And when I asked her about intuition, she said, "I am intuition." So why don't you contemplate that for the next few minutes while we... that's cool. Part of my paperwork is gone. All right. See if I can remember it. Probably not. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, circleoflightstl.org, or through our Facebook page. Tom, will you do me a favor? Will you grab the pages of this that are on the desk? They fell out, and I didn't realize it was part of what I needed today. Thank you. Thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission. What's our mission? To seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energy to this sacred sharing. We will now say the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week. Thank you. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Current announcements. Today is the last Sunday in February, so next week will be our monthly meeting. We set a date for our next psychic fair, which will be 2 weeks after, so it'll be the third Sunday in June. Well, we'll be making it. That's plenty of time to plan ahead, but it's going to be 2 weeks after the pagan picnic, and the pagan picnic is actually, I think, starts on May 31st. It's like the last day of May and first day of June, if I remember correctly. Then 2 weeks later, we'll have our psychic fair right here, live in person.
Are we gonna get the pagan picnic?
Oh, yeah. This year. Yeah, it's a whole weekend. So I'm not sure how all this got messed up, but I'm gonna find this page that I need so I don't miss anything. There you go. All right. The rest of it I can sort out later. Thank you again for your donations. A prayer over the offering. Divine oneness of being that man calls God in all of your manifestations. Thank you for filling these gifts with your divine light and maximizing their potential to do the most good possible, so mote it be. That brings us to the message portion of the service. Please actively listen to each message. As these come from universal source via our guides, they may be tailored for the individual, but they deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after the service, or if you're online, type it in the comments. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity rather than signifying any one particular path. Our message bearer tonight will be me. You guys want to sing a song or just chant home? You know what? You want to sing a song?
I mean, if you
All right.
just want to chant, we'll do it, sir.
Well, I'm going to chant the mantra that's specifically for spirit communication. And here's how it goes. Radha Swami Devi Devi, Radha Swami Satnam, 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 Radha Swami Devi Devi, Radha Swami Satnam. I haven't done that in a while. Thank you very much. I'm Reverend William. Be working tonight with Sarah, Mikael, Thundercloud, Merdin, Arcturus, Ellen, Two Hearts. Julia. What's the right word? They're showing me wet concrete. A lot of people say cement, but cement is not really concrete. The stuff that sidewalks and stuff is made out of is concrete. It is a aggregate. Thank you. Oh, aggregate. It's a bunch of stuff put together. It's rocks and sand, and cement is one thing. Cement is what holds it together. So, Julia, whatever, let's see. To build or create the solid foundation that you want to create, like this wet concrete, it requires a blend or mix of ingredients. So how do I know I have the right ingredients or that the proportions are correct? I need so much rock, so much sand, so much cement, so much water. Too much water or not enough water, it doesn't set up right. Okay. Well, just like if you were really going to pour a foundation or something, you would ask experts who've done it before and or just do a little test. Make just a small container of it first and keep track of how much of each thing you used. How does it turn out? Um, and make adjustments as you learn. Very interesting metaphor there. So whatever it is you're creating or plan to create, and I have the impression it's like a foundation of a house, something you're going to want to stand on. It's not going to be, oh, okay, okay. Also like a principle to stand on, as if you're going to like build, pour this concrete slab and stand on it and share or tell with people. Don't rely on just one thing. Get a well-rounded recipe. Nancy. It's okay. So from the foundation, we'll go up to the walls and the insulation. And, to insulate oneself could be to stay warm, or it could be to isolate. Okay, so what's the appropriate amount of insulation, or how do I know when, how do I know when it's safe to go outside? That's very interesting. Well, are you comfortable? Ah, I see. So in this house, I've had the temperature, thermostat set on 71 for so many years. I'm really comfortable here. And if that's what you want, if you're totally happy, great. Stay right where you are. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. However, if you're not, if you want to go outside, well, sure, duh, like people say, outside of your comfort zone, like where it's always between 70 and 72 degrees. Yes. So what would be very helpful to replace whatever fears you have, replace that with adventure. Sure, just like the Fool card in tarot. It's an adventure. That is a pretty easy and quick way to change your perspective of going outside your comfort zone. It's an adventure. Very cool. Walt? Okay, now we're down on the ground like little kids playing with little toy soldiers. Well, Walt, unlike the toy soldiers, you are not frozen in one position. You have much more freedom of movement than you realize. And not only in the way that they are plastic figures, molded, I love that, molded in a certain way, a certain position, But also, each toy soldier had a role. Like one might have a rifle, one might have a bazooka, one might be poking his head out of a tank, or one's prone down on the ground. Those roles are helpful in certain situations like battle, when you can rely on each person to do his or her role. But real life is not like that. Real life challenges you to be versatile, to learn different skills. So Spirit's encouraging you to not get stuck in the identity of one person, place, or role. And kind of like the adventure one, if you're worried or afraid of like doing it wrong, let's do it. So why use the image of toy soldiers? Because in the military, training is very regimented. Get it? Yes, it's very specific. You get trained to do one specific thing. After basic training, you get trained to do one specific thing. And then, if you do that well enough, long enough, you might get trained on another thing. So, and that becomes your identity. I am a rifleman. I'm a mechanic. I am whatever, and that's my identity. I might even have like a patch that identifies the platoon or thing that I do, who I'm with or what I do. I have my insignia, my name. It's all, it's uniform. Think of the multiple meanings of the word uniform. Same for everybody. Well, that's fine for the military, but it's not fine for living a happy life. You're challenged to release the identity that you were trained for and expand. Okay, Lois. They're showing you as a nun. So there is that element, like that previous message, of being taught a really specific way to be and what to do. In this case, it's more of a ritual, not more of, it's absolutely a ritual. And you're walking up to this altar or something here where you're going to light this big candle. You're like, I got a big candle. Like the candle size represents the power of your intention. Maybe, if that's true for you, maybe it does. But God doesn't care about the size of the candle. Not one bit. So really this is about the meaning and power of ritual. That if it means something to you, great. But let's not assume that it has the same meaning to God. Make sense? Okay. All right, Tom. you're wearing this huge bearskin coat. Okay? Okay. So you're wearing this big bearskin coat. It's extremely warm. It's exactly what you need. And people might question the ethics or whatever of that because it came from a living animal and blah, blah, blah. And your attitude is, well, everything has a role. You know, it's not like I savagely killed the bear and left it for dead and watched it rot and get eaten by vultures. You know, I didn't waste it. Every bit of that bear got used. And I don't need to explain myself to you. It's basically your attitude. So, good job of transcending the judgment of others in this way. And they are suggesting that you expand that into the rest of your thinking, like your, like the other areas of your life. Transcend. No need to fight it. No need to explain yourself. Just say, this is the way it is. And this suggestion doesn't mean stop learning or don't listen, but it means use what you know. If you know this is true, just say it. Say it. Huh. It's that simple. Okay. All right. Thank you for allowing me to stand to the rules. And that brings us to the the meditation tonight. And I guess we'll just see what happens. We invite you to assume a comfortable position. If you have a technique that you like, please use that. Otherwise, we invite you to sit comfortably, feet flat on the floor, palms open in your lap. Body relaxing. And as you give your body permission to relax, observe your breathing. As you observe your breathing, you are improving your skill of observation. You're improving your ability to hold your attention in the present. You are doing great. Continue to deepen that relaxation. You may even feel as if you melt into the seat. Our guides and teachers in spirit hold this space for us so that it is a beautiful, safe place, a quiet place to release. Let those waves of relaxation flow through you. From the top of your head, down through your body, out to your fingertips, and down to the soles of your feet. As your body relaxes, your mind and thoughts soften and slow down, and your heart is at ease. You find yourself in a beautiful, quiet place. Make a mental note of where you are. Is it a familiar place or is it new? What do you see? What do you hear? In this beautiful, quiet place. In this place and time that you find yourself, with your heart and mind open. Seated if you want to be seated, however you are comfortable in this place. Invite the person who most wants to be welcomed home. Because you are so relaxed and in tune with yourself right now, you will easily be aware of who this is, what part of you that they are or they represent. Sometimes, for some of us, it's quite evident what has happened in terms of why they were ostracized or exiled, and some simple understanding could be great steps to bring them home. And perhaps the reasoning is not even needed. Perhaps there's no mystery to figure out. It's simply a matter of welcoming them back. As this process continues, we want to remind you that all people want to be whole. All people want to be complete. All people want to be their true selves. And all of those exiled parts want to be integrated. In fact, it is their primary mission. However, many people have been taught, directly or indirectly, that it's not possible. Some people have been told they're just messed up for life. It's the way you are. It's the way you're always going to be. You can't really change. And you know in your heart and in your soul that's completely not true. You can employ your powerful mind to change that belief. You can employ your powerful mind to listen to your heart that knows the truth, to listen to your intuition in your soul that knows the truth. you can accept the reality that belief is just simply wrong. That all people do indeed yearn for wholeness and integration, and all those respective parts yearn for the same. Furthermore, every time you do this, every time you make even an iota of progress, even a bit of progress towards understanding yourself and becoming whole and complete, you directly and indirectly, physically and metaphysically, consciously and unconsciously give everyone else permission to do the same. Your example, whether you are aware of it or not, instantly reverberates out from you. Every time. This process has only positive outcomes. Any challenge or negative outcome you might imagine is a result of an inappropriate or incomplete belief. It might be the belief of a part of you that's a child and hasn't had the chance to develop and accept that new belief. And that's okay. Because, as you know, this is not a function of your logical reasoning mind. It is a function, perhaps, of your subconscious mind and your heart and your soul. As the effect of your action reverberates out, people sense that, and it gives them permission to do the same. It also radiates out in the non-physical world. So who else around you receives that same permission? Other parts of you. When you do this profound healing work, you attract the attention of your higher self, your guides and teachers, all those beings in spirit, the non-physical entities around you, that all are cheering for your success. And other exiled parts will be welcomed back. Yes, that is also true. You're doing such a great job. Either consciously or subconsciously, you have become aware of the word forgiveness. You are, by nature of this process, forgiving yourself for having exiled them to begin with. You may also notice that you don't have to explain it. You don't have to reason it out. You don't have to figure out why or how it happened. Just heal it. By simply stating your intention, you initiate healing. That is the essence of the law of attraction. So continue this process. Knowing that all beings desire wholeness. Knowing in your mind and in your heart that you can because you're 100% capable of it, you can continue this process any time or place you want. With that awareness, thank your higher self, thank your guides and teachers, thank all your parts and aspects. Welcome yourself back to the current reality. Bring your attention softly but completely into your body, the vehicle you have chosen for this lifetime. Cause yourself with your powerful mind to be here now. Cause yourself to be in this moment in your body. From the top of your head, all the way down through your fingertips and down to the soles of your feet. Here and now. And when you are ready, please open your eyes. Closing prayer. Divine oneness of being. Ascended masters and teachers. Overlighting angels and guides in spirit, thank you for once again working with us and through us. Thank you for your inspiration and guidance. and overlooking us as we go forth from here, so mote it be. Thank you all for being our circle of light. Please stand with us in unity as we sing together, "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Hugs.